All right, Shalom Yashala. Call Halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Waharakak Wadash Brakathum. I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Akion pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aquath out there listening. What I have here on the screen is let me see if I can enlarge it. Okay, on if you go to Walmart's website, you could order the 12 tribe sign. You know, according to prophecy, man. Of it says it right there in bold writing, right? Okay, as we can all see, right? The 12 tribes and through prophecy, on the earth today, who those 12 tribes are. This this here now is available on Walmart's website, right? It says the 12 tribes of Israel chart, canvas painting wall, or art poster for bedroom. Okay. It has the 3 days right there, just a little spiritual inside joke. But and this is another one that some of the other sects use, those who are preaching the 100% truth, the correct doctrine, right? Okay. The 12 tribes of Israel, you got Judah, the so-called Negro, Benjamin, so-called Jamaicans, Levi, the so-called Haitians, Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans, Manasseh, the so-called Cubans, Simeon, the so-called Dominicans, Zebulon, the so-called Guatemalans, to Panamanians, and Mayans, Gad, the so-called Native Americans, along with Reuben, the so-called, Seminole Indians, Asher, the so-called Colombians, Uruguayans, Issachar, the so-called Mexicans, Naphtali, the so-called Argentinians or Chileans, right? I just want to, have clarity with that, right? So this truth that's going out, man, to all four corners, of this round earth, man. So there's no excuse, when Yahushua HaMashiach returns, man. There's no excuse. Hell, there's no excuse now. What the hell? What the hell is Jake waiting on, man? You know, as far as like doing the work per se. You're an Israelite, so what's the holdup? You know, it was a thing once upon a time, man. Hey, the Lord, put the spirit on brothers' wives, who do believe to make garments that takes out an excuse. Brothers, oh, we ain't got no, other brothers were sent JPEGs, or brothers got creative and made their own 12 tribe chart sign. But it was, of course, according to the 100% truth, this 100% doctrine, right? you know no foolishness were added to the signs. If you see any other signs with the 12 tribe chart, and you see a 13th tribe, or that has Japhet, or has some other BS on there, nah. This right here, through the spirit and power of prophecy of Yahweh Bashim Yashah, is the correct tribe chart sign. And it's through prophecy, man. Some people may not dig it, and that's cool. It's not for you to dig. But that there's no excuse, right? You know, just to further clarify, like I already made the example of particular brothers in the truth, their wives make garments. You know, through the proper protocol and pipeline, you would reach out to a brother. Hey, brother, me and the Akyam, I got 3 brothers with me. We've been watching Great Millstone videos for the past 3 years, man, and we're ready through the spirit. Is there any way, we can get help with garments? A brother would simply, go through the proper protocols, send that brother some money, so his wife could buy the materials and what have you. Or if a young brother comes into this faith, And his old lady believes, and she's willing, you know. So that all the excuses are out the window, man, for this truth. You know, and call halal Yah Bashim Yashah. And that means all praises to the Most High that we've been fortunate enough to have those examples on how to move, man. Okay. So let's, you know, and I bring that back around just to say, we can't find no 12 tribe sign, 12 tribe chart sign. Says who? There it is. You can go to the Walmart website, man, and it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful, you know. This is Proverbs chapter 1, verse 20. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse. You know, you go to the, you know, to an area that's that you're gonna have, you know, a decent amount of traction. You know, it's not our job to wake Jake up, but it's the spirit of power of Yahweh Bashim Yashad that's going to wake Jake up. So that needs to be understood, you know. But hey, fruit will be brought forth, man. Okay, so that's another thing, you know. For one, we're presenting ourselves what is to be a living sacrifice, right? Such as Yahweh Shah HaMashiach did, our big bro. So it's, you know, it's very necessary that we go out to the highways and byways, man. You know, not for one's ego or one belly, but hey, also salvation. You know, everything else to hell with that. We're doing this for salvation's sake, man. Okay. Let me continue reading. Matter of fact, let me reread verse 21 again. I just might as well start over in verse 20. Salaki. Wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. She crieth in the chief place of concourse. In the openings of the gates in the city she uttereth her words, saying, how long, ye simple ones, will ye love simplicity? And scorners delight in their scorning, and fools hate knowledge. You know, and that's a question. How long y'all gonna love simplicity, man? Okay, and it's a question like, damn, fools hate knowledge? Like, damn. You know, everybody's so deep. You know, everybody want to, you know, have this building session. You know, everybody's so deep. And that's where this comes into play. Okay? That's where this comes into play. It's verse 20. It says, wisdom crieth without, she uttereth her voice in the streets. Okay? And it's not our place to be deep, but Yahweh Bashim Yashah within itself is deep. You know, when the Lord, you know, puts a spirit on you and supping with you and you're being sincere, man, the Lord's going to show you some things. The Lord's going to open your mind to these breakdowns and prophecies like, oh, this links up with that. That's wild. You know? So there is no excuse as to why brothers who say they've been watching this and that. Hey, we're meeting more and more brothers who've been watching and who've been diligent and who've girded up their loins, man, and trusting in Yahweh Bashim Yashah, man. Okay, Jake has trusted in America and hasn't got shit from it. So just honestly, just through the spirit, you know, why not give Yahweh Bashim Yashah a shot, right? Especially when you start, you know, connecting the dots through the spirit, if the Lord puts the spirit on you, man. You know? And I'm more so referencing, you know, well, this is a fallback plan. Nah. Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah is a salvation plan, first and foremost, man. Okay. So make no mistake, you know, for you young men who may be hearing this for the first time or what have you. You know, you're gonna catch all type of BS rhetoric, man. Go get a job. Every brother in the camp got a job, bro. A lot of bros, like we always say, some of the bros are better off than these people in the world with degrees or so forth, man. You know, we're not here to brag about personal accolades or accomplishments, man. This is still hell, bro. If millionaires miserable, how in the hell you think average, a brother who's earning an average salary is feeling? You know, we understand that as hell. You know, I just want to make that very clear. Okay. This is Proverbs chapter 18, verse 10. The name of Yahweh is a strong tower. The righteous runneth into it and is safe. Okay. Just through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashah, man. The apostles, bishops, and elders been out there for years. You know. My elders of Great Millstone Dallas, hey, some bros are coming into the territory of almost 20 years. Me, I'm not too far behind from that. And it's not about that, but I'm just saying all this time we've been bringing out the word of Yahweh Bashem Yashah, and what? We've been nothing more than protected, man. We've been protected by Yahweh Bashem Yashah. Okay? So you have to have that faith. You have to build your faith. You know, you have to build your faith, and that your faith really starts kicking in. You know, of course it's levels to it, but when you start believing, I'm an Israelite, just talking about me. When you start going, when you're on the other side, when you're going with your notebook, got your backpack, you know, being asked questions, asking questions, studying relentlessly, staying up late, you know, having your wine phase, you know, brothers, you know, drink wine, you know, and just, you know, just like, man, you know, and that faith should be building up, man, you know, because something you don't have faith in is really a waste of time. And if we've been doing it here this long, hey, we just have faith that we're Israelites. We're the Israelites of the Bible that it speaks of. We believe who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. His name is Yahweh. Okay. We believe the Most High is going to send his only begotten Son back to deliver the elect and destroy Babylon the Great. I truly believe that. The apostles, bishops, and elders believe that. Okay. We don't deem this as a fluke, you know. Yeah, we look crazy as hell, but that's cool. If you got an issue with being looked at crazy as hell, just take a look at Babylon. You know. This is John chapter 15, verse 22. And this is Yahweh Shah HaMashiach speaking. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin. But now they have no cloak for their sin. Okay? So there's not going to be any cloak for Jake's sin any longer, man, because this word has gone out. The spirit, was you expecting Yahweh Shah HaMashiach to come and speak to you, man? The Lord is speaking, through his men. Okay? And it's spiritually, it's just evident, man. So and when Yahweh Shah HaMashiach does come back, man, it ain't, You've been playing and then had all this time and making excuses. Hey, all the excuse making is out, man. There's no there's no time for excuses, bro. Okay? There's no time for no excuses that you could possibly make. Well, here it is. You know where to get a sign. You know the proper protocol or pipeline to get garments, because other brothers are doing it. They own it. Okay? So there's no excuses. Okay? So that cloak that cloak is let me get the word for it. It's in the Greek. It's in Strong's. Let me make sure I got the right one. Bear me, Baba Kusha. Prophecies. Okay, this is the G4392. Okay, And the outline biblical usage is a pretext, alleged reason, pretended cause, show, under color as though they would do something, in pretense, ostensibly, an outward showing. You know, so there's no reason, for you to not be on the highways and byways if you believe and you're able-bodied, bro. Now we get it. All brothers aren't, going are going to be prophets. Some men are going to come in and be friends of the prophets, right? You can be a friend of the prophets, but if you able-bodied, man, and you got youth, okay, on your side, bro, you should you should be out there, man. Okay, so that cloak is an excuse. Okay, so don't be having no excuses. Oh well, you know, hey, it's brothers with all type of different work schedules, but through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahshua, the Lord is making it happen, right? Okay. Let me reread verse 22 again, and once again, this is Yahweh Shah Hamashiach talking. If I had not come and spoken unto them, they had not had sin, but now they have no cloak for their sin. So you have no alleged reason not to get this thing, man. You can go right on the website, order you a 12 tribe chart sign, and reach out to the Akyam, or if you a brother coming to the faith, and your mother, your sister, they may believe. Who knows? You have no excuse. You could have them make you a garment, man. Or brother can get a sewing machine and learn how to do it himself. I believe it's sites that brothers can get garments from too, if I'm not mistaken. So there's no excuse, man. There is no excuse. Okay, bear with me, Baba Koshad. Let's see. This is Isaiah chapter 55, verse 11. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void, okay, empty, okay, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it, okay. So this word that's been going out, it's intended to how it's being accepted, man. Okay, guess what? Some people are gonna be offended by it, some not, some are not. Some are gonna embrace it. Who's gonna embrace it? The hopeful elect. Okay, so this truth is going out, man. So it ain't no excuse, bro. There is no excuse. Brothers been on the major news circuit. They wrote their little articles, did videos about us. When that popular little trend with Kodak Black, Chingy, Kendrick Lamar. Hey, those are those are top talented young Jake. Especially Kendrick. He's been coming back, reinventing himself every album that drops. But you know what? He had it's to be understood that ain't gonna be no cloak for his sin either, bro. Because he was claiming, knowing he's an Israelite, and then denouncing it on that Mr. Morale album, and Salakia, I'm a music head, which a lot of brothers, we enjoy music, but I believe that Mr. Morale album, I think the one before this last one, I think that was after the Mr. Morale. I think that was after the Damn album, because I think probably got a little bugged out, you know, he got a little, he got turned on to the truth by a relative of his, found out he was an Israelite, and now that's not such a popular thing now, especially to the times that we're coming into, you know. But it's not gonna be it's not gonna be no excuse for Kendrick. It's not gonna be no excuse for Kodak Blacks. It's not gonna be no excuse for Brandon T. Jackson. Okay, that's another one. Okay, Jake, he mad because bros wouldn't kiss his ass. So now he's out here, sending holiday postcards. So it's not gonna be no excuse for these guys, man. And don't let that be an excuse for you young bros who believe. If you've been at the crib watching, or come out to the camp, man. Or go out to the highways and byways. We're in them times, bro. Ain't no excuses at this point, you know. But that's all I have on this. And Abaratazah, this has been edifying for the body. With that, once again, call halal Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah Waha Rakakwadash Brakathum. Once again, I'd like to give double honors to the apostles, bishops, and elders, O great millstone who rule well. Salutations to the select number of Akim pushing his truth and sincerity in four corners of the round earth. And salutations to the select number of Aquat that they're listening. Shalom.